The miracle of the loaves and fish. The sun hung high over the Sea of Galilee, its golden light shimmering on the waters. A gentle breeze rustled the grass on the hillside, where a vast crowd had gathered. Men, women, and children sat on the ground, their faces filled with expectation as they listened to the man in the center, Jesus of Nazareth. His voice, calm yet powerful, carried across the open field. He spoke of love, of God's kingdom, of mercy, and faith. No one wanted to leave, even as the hours stretched on and hunger gnawed at their bellies. Andrew, one of Jesus' disciples, looked around nervously. He knew the people needed food, but how could they possibly feed so many? He stepped closer to Jesus. "Master," he said, "this place is desolate, and the hour is late. Send them away so they may go into the villages and buy themselves food." Jesus turned to him, his eyes filled with compassion. "They need not go away. You give them something to eat." Andrew glanced at the thousands seated before them and then back at Jesus. "Lord, we have nothing, only 5 loaves and 2 small fish from a boy in the crowd. What are these among so many?" Jesus smiled. "Bring them to me." The boy, no older than 10, stepped forward hesitantly. His small hands clutched a simple basket, the bread and fish wrapped in cloth. "Here, sir," he said softly, offering his meal. Jesus knelt and took the basket. "Thank you, child. You have given greatly." Then he stood, lifting the food toward the heavens. "Father, I thank you for your provision." The crowd watched in silence as Jesus began to break the bread. He gave pieces to his disciples and instructed them to distribute it. The disciples hesitated, but as they obeyed, their astonishment grew. No matter how much they gave out, the food never diminished. They moved through the crowd, handing out bread and fish to every hungry soul. People gasped, murmuring in wonder as their hands filled with food. A frail old woman held a piece of bread close to her chest, tears streaming down her face. "Praise be to God," she whispered. "This is a miracle." A young man, weary from travel, bit into the fish and sighed in relief. "I have not eaten all day," he said to his friend. "How is this possible?" The children laughed and ate heartily, their hunger forgotten. Even the skeptical Pharisees among them could not deny what was happening. As the meal continued, Jesus watched with joy. He had come to show them the boundless love of God. And today, he had done so through the simplest of gifts: bread and fish. Hours passed, and finally, the crowd, now satisfied, leaned back on the grass. Jesus instructed his disciples to gather the leftovers, and to their amazement, 12 full baskets remained. The people marveled, whispering among themselves, "Surely this is the prophet who was to come into the world." Jesus, knowing their hearts, withdrew to the mountain to pray. He had not come for earthly power, but to reveal the love and provision of his Father. And so, the hillside that once held 5,000 hungry souls now echoed with gratitude, filled with the undeniable truth that in the hands of Jesus, even the smallest offering becomes more than enough. This miracle is a testament to faith and generosity. A simple act of offering, no matter how small, can be multiplied beyond imagination in the hands of Jesus. It reminds us that God's provision is abundant, and when we trust Him, He will meet our needs in ways we never expected. May we all carry this lesson in our hearts, knowing that even in our times of scarcity, there is always enough when we place our faith in Him.